my house, my idea, my life. We use these little words all day, every day to kind of draw a line around the things that belong to us. But what's the real difference between saying something is my thing versus saying that thing is mine? Today, we're going to dig into how these tiny words actually define our world, from, our physical stuff to our deepest sense of who we are.
This line really gets at something deep inside all of us, doesn't it? It's that desire to have a share, to be able to claim a piece of life's big banquet for ourselves. It's that fundamental feeling of wanting to say, hey, this part, this is mine. It's a feeling we all know, that drive to feel like something truly belongs to us.
So how do we actually do this in English? Well, it all boils down to a few small but really powerful words. And getting them right, it isn't just about sounding correct. It's about clearly and confidently communicating what's yours and what isn't.
All right, let's get right into it with the core rules. And honestly, it's way simpler than you might think. It all just hinges on one key difference: what comes after the word.
Okay, so first up, you've got words like my and your. And you can almost think of them as, well, they're a little bit needy. They just can't stand alone. They always need a noun right there with them to make sense. You can't just say, that is my. My what? My car? My sandwich? They need that partner, like my brother, your phone, to complete the thought.
And then you've got the strong, independent ones. Mine, yours, hers. These are the pronouns and. And unlike their needy cousins, they don't need a partner at all. They completely replace the noun phrase because, we already know what we're talking about. They've got it covered, all by themselves.
And check this out. Here's where you can really see the difference in action. On the left side, my needs coat, your needs car. See? They've got their partners. But look at the right side. Mine and yours are standing strong, all on their own. The noun is totally implied. We don't need to say it again. It's just a cleaner, more direct way to show ownership once the context is set.
Okay, but here's where things get really interesting. This whole language of ownership, it isn't just for physical things like coats and cars. The concept of what is mine goes way deeper into the most important, intangible parts of our lives. So, public speaking expert Carmine Gallo, he points out that the most powerful leaders literally own their personal stories. Take the lawyer Brian Stevenson, for example. In the courtroom, he tells these deeply personal stories. He's not just listing facts, he's making a real human connection. He makes the story, and by doing that, the entire argument uniquely his. And you know what? This instinct to define our territory, it starts so early. Just think about it. One of the very first words a toddler really gets a grip on is mine. As the authors of The Millionaire Next Door noticed, even a little kid gets the idea of my property. It's totally fundamental to how we learn to see ourselves as individuals and navigate the world.
And maybe the most valuable thing we can ever possess is our time. I mean, Tim Ferriss argues this in the 4-Hour Workweek. He says that real luxury isn't a fancy car or a huge house. Nope, it's having total control over your own schedule, your own life. It's the freedom to make your time, every single minute of it, truly yours.
All right, so now that we've got the basics down, let's talk about a couple of super common mistakes. I mean, we've all probably made these at some point, but they're so easy to fix once you see them.
You hear this one a lot, right? The problem is that a and my kind of do the same job in a sentence. They're both what you call determiners, and you just can't stack them up like that. You got to choose one or the other. You can say a friend or you can say my friend, but you can't say both.
So what's the fix? Well, you use this brilliant little phrase, a friend of mine. See how that works? Mine is that independent, standalone pronoun we were talking about. It lets you say that someone is one of your friends without breaking any grammar rules. It's such a great phrase to have in your back pocket.
Oh man, and now for the big one. The confusion between it's with no apostrophe and it's with an apostrophe trips up everyone, even native speakers. But here's the rule, and it is dead simple. If you see an apostrophe, it is always a contraction. It's just a short way of saying it is or it has. The one that shows ownership, the possessive one, never ever has an apostrophe. The dog wagged its tail. Simple as that. So, let's wrap this all up. What does it all boil down to? What's the real takeaway here? How can we use this language to really powerfully reflect what we own, from our stuff to our principles?
This really gets it down to the essentials, right? On one hand, you've got the super simple grammar rule. Mine needs its partner noun, while mine is fine on its own. But more importantly, we've seen how this idea of ownership is about so much more than just grammar. It's about the very things that make us who we are, our stories, our time, our ideas. And finally, we've got that practical fix for a common mistake, so you can start using this stuff right away.
So in the end, these aren't just a bunch of grammar rules. They're tools. The language you use to talk about what belongs to you, your ideas, your work, your life, it doesn't just describe your reality, it actually helps create it. It shapes how you see your own world and how other people see you in it. So the real question is, what world are you claiming as yours?